welcome back to Anime Casuals. I'm Lucky.
Here I go! This hand of mine is burning red!
And I'm Michael. Realize the only ones who should kill are those who are prepared to be killed.
Johnny.
Your darkness swallowed up my son? Who decided that?
Erupting! Burning!
Now all of you.
Die.
Hello, everybody. I'm Michael.
I am a Johnny.
And this is Anime Casuals Weekend Talk 137. Yes, we keep going. We keep going. We keep going while we work on organize our brains. So this is the Weekend Talk. What we do here is we talk about seasonal anime. We pick 4 anime that we're going to basically keep up with, and we organize them in a hype list. Today we're going to start with Konosuba Season 1, Episode 4, then Hell's Paradise Season 1, Episode 5, Dr. Stone Season 3, Episode 4, I think, and then Demon Slayer Season 3, some number episode. Crunchyroll failed me by not putting the episode we were watching on here right now. So
Sure, it reset it to 1.
It did. So we're going to start... it's sad to say, but Konosuba is real hit or miss this season, and kind of what I assumed was going to happen is that they're really focused on Megumin, and Megumin, I think, is a great character on her own, but her surrounding story is not hype enough or not, like, amazing enough to really bolster her character. And I'm going to keep this episode pretty simple, just like we're going to do for Hell's Paradise, is... she herself is funny and interesting to watch at all times. I have no problems with Megumin. And I guarantee, written a little differently, she could probably carry the show. She does carry the show. And Yunyun is also, like, a great character. Like, obviously, she has slowly been working to where she is in the regular Konosuba series. But the surrounding cast is lacking heavily. And I think that is what made this episode just kind of meh, like pretty mid. It all in all, it was kind of just small stepping stones to learn more about Megumin's past and Yunyun and her history with Yunyun. I don't know anything else that really happened during this episode that was that exciting. There was a funny part in the beginning when she does like what does my future party want to be? And then you basically see, as Johnny pointed out to me, you see Aqua, you see Darkness, you see Kazuha? That's not his name.
Kazuma.
I
had a weird second where I was like, Konosuba. You see Konosuba there. It's like, no, that's the name of the anime.
He is Konosuba.
He is.
And this wonderful world's blessing to us. And she basically has a dream about her perfect party, which is the party she joins. And I'm hoping there's more of that throughout the season, because we're possibly about halfway through episode 4. So we got a lot of episodes to go. But yeah, I don't know. Johnny, give us some hard opinions, hard truth.
Yeah, I mean, this anime is kind of disappointing me. And it's not even because it's, quote unquote, boring or not exciting. I mean, that's fine. It's all like, she's a kid. She's kind of like growing up and learning how to be, a red demon mage, whatever. But man, it's too slow and there's not enough interest going on.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I really needed to know a backstory between Yunyun and Megumin. I feel like I've gotten a good amount of that, in everything else they produced. I don't know what to tell you. They had me for a second, it would keep me going with the whole, like, okay, so first day of class, you got to have awesome entrances and, you got to just BS your way through this world and make people just quiver in fear. I was like, okay, that's a little crazy, but why not? And even the teachers just being a little dumb, like, that was a good line. I'll let you keep the cat in class. Like, that's ridiculous. But I don't know. I just don't feel like there's enough going on in this series. And I just wish there was more of that exaggeration, I guess. That's just oversaturation of just weird
it's comedy
demon gimmicks.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe Like it's only episode 4. I'm still trying to give it a shot because it is Konosuba, and or it's not. It's Megumin. But man, I don't know. It's not keeping me too interested right now.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's the intrigue that they're trying to stir up that's with the high school or the classes that she's in. And the only thing that's ever interesting is like when she's interacting with Yun or the other lead girl, the one with the eye patch. And I'm like, every other character is kind of meh, but the adults that are surrounding are also really funny. So I'm like those moments are like highlight moments in the episodes, but then they that kind of it just goes meh, like a hard like they threw the dice and it's all ones for everything else. So
See, I just need them to lean into it way more.
well, okay, so far we've been picking up pieces of Megumin. We still have her staff and possibly her eye patch that we got to pick up. The staff seems like something is going to be really important. We've got her cat, we've got her hat, and we've got her friends. So I mean, like, there's not too much else that's in Megumin's world. The only other thing is the explosion magic, which I'm assuming is coming up next episode because she said she was really close in learning it. So I guess we will see.
I really hope.
Yeah. And this is the saddest part. Is there's other anime that's in this season, this spring season, that are better to talk about that we could be talking about, but we're only talking about these 4 because
I agree.
Konosuba's close to our heart. Hell's Paradise was like kind of famed, and Dr. Stone and Demon Slayer, we just can't not talk about them. Also, to kind of push it in Lucky's face that he's still not watching Dr. Stone. We watch you, Lucky. So our next one is season 1, episode 5 of Hell's Paradise, called The Samurai and the Woman. And I'm guessing that's the title, so we can't call her a girl. At least that's unless the woman they're talking about is the samurai lady. But I'm assuming not. So in this episode, we have, maybe it's important to like look up the names of these characters. Maybe that's something I should do, Johnny. And we should know that her name is Sagiri, and not just a random samurai lady. Because Gabimaru is only easy because of slime. I don't know about you, but like that's why I remember that.
Honestly, I never remember it, but I mean, I know I should because of that reason.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I don't want to look at this too hard because I might spoil myself on something and then be really sad on this podcast. So basically, Gabimaru and oh my god, I forgot her name already. Sagiri are having this like moment where the other Asaimon, which are the samurai, that are following around the criminals.
Executioners.
Yeah, they're basically executioners. 2 of them basically go to Sagiri and go, "Hey, you suck. You're a woman. Go home. This is not this is a man's place." And I'm like, also, 2 big middle fingers to you guys. Like, get off her back. She's already like 10 steps ahead of a lot of people and has the most dangerous criminal with her. Like, out of all of you guys, she didn't get killed by Gabimaru already. She defended herself and has the most dangerous person who can kill everybody on this island, potentially. So I'm like, you guys, need to take a step down. And she's kind of go through a crisis of faith. And then on the other side, we see a Simon and is a woman. I'm going to call her a woman now, even though she's tiny and small. But you know what? I shouldn't be prejudiced against people who are tiny and small.
So is the number 1 in One Punch, but
that's true. That is very true.
Was it hurricane? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tornado.
Hey, that was close, Johnny. So basically, half the episode is dedicated to Sagiri and like what she's going through, basically firming up her resolve to stay on the island and not go back. But also, I think the episode did really good on trying to balance out by saying, hey, also, as she's thinking about going back, they also show the story about an Asaimon and his criminal that they're watching who try to leave the island and basically show that you can't leave unless you find the one path off the island, which we know exists because other people have made it back to the mainland already. So it's a really cool story of they show basically the samurai and the woman. The woman is the last remaining vestige of her clan, who she accidentally got the rest of her clan killed. Her clan is like those who don't follow the shogunate. And that's basically who these people are, people who are native to the land. And like most big governments and big cultures, they go ahead and want to kill all those people because they're not obeying the emperor or the king or whoever is in charge at that time. And this woman brings these people back. They kill all of her people, and basically, for being the last one remaining of the clan, she gets imprisoned, and then she gets the opportunity to be pardoned because this guy is super nice. Like, he's just like, hey, I don't know why you're here. This is messed up. I'm gonna bring you to the island, get you hopefully pardoned. They try to escape a gross, horrible-looking kraken monster. I don't like how its tentacles like unfurled like a foreskin. That was gross to me.
Blech.
Yeah, it was very gross. And basically they redirect themselves onto a different part of the island and are out there to look for the elixir. The best part came at the end when Sagiri is basically having a talk with this other guy. This big hulking dude goes, hey, you need to leave. And then basically tries to swing a sword at her. And as his sword comes down, the sword vanishes from his hand. And then she has the sword. And he's like, hey, you got to give that back. That's a samurai's soul. And she's like, well, yeah, but you can find a weapon anywhere on the battlefield, as you said. I'm like, ooh. And then the big hulking criminal, like the one with the paper on his face, just smacks the dude and gets rid of like a quarter of his ribs and probably his lungs.
Oh, wow.
That guy's probably dead. So, yeah, I wanted to give you the recap real quick. It was kind of crazy. It was a fun episode. Also, because Johnny either does not remember or didn't watch the episode. We don't know.
It's one of them.
Johnny's also on Hell's Paradise, and he got hit by one of those little moths with the boot
Woo!
face.
Flower face.
So we're going to quickly go away from that because Johnny doesn't have quite the memory for it. And we're going to go to Dr. Stone Season 3, Episode 4. I went to the history on Crunchyroll. That works out better. And that was a fun episode. It's called The Eyes of Science. We get sonar. We get mines. We get magnetized rock. We get fish finders. We get so much in this episode. And as Johnny was saying, that's why he liked it.
Yeah, it was definitely, I was telling him, it's pretty fun to watch this anime and get really excited about everyday things that are very boring, like pavement and just kind of roads outside. I walk on them all the time. I drive on them all the time. But, in this anime, I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Asphalt. That's crazy. And it's ridiculous.
And I like the way they talked about it because I actually didn't know this. I'm sure our tar is made a little differently now because obviously we've gotten better at making roads, we hope. But they were basically, like you cook the gasoline and then the sludge that builds up on top of it, you skim it off, and that turns into basically asphalt or tar.
Just leftovers.
Yeah, just leftovers. And I was like, whoa, that actually kind of makes sense because it's like black sludge that's being poured out, but always the machines that are like bringing them places are covered in it. Like they're always like dyed black and have like these little oozing parts all over the machines. So I'm like, you're learning something today. And also, I like how he's driving the gorilla tank and he's like, like bouncing up and down the rocks. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, it's the kind of thing, I don't remember exactly, but I'm like, I guess they don't really have too many like, I can't think of the word, but like suspension. I mean, obviously they don't have like windows and like windshields, stuff like that. But yeah, it's funny to think that they don't have that kind of stuff. I mean, it is a car, but yeah, it's just
they're gonna feel every
little
rock.
Niceties. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, it's funny to kind of remember those things, which is why they made nice smooth asphalt.
Yeah, and then
smushed it.
And then as I think the very first episode when they did a Minecraft reference at the very beginning. Because they were like, we gotta acquire things, and like they kind of showed off in Minecraft. You do the same thing. I could not help but think of the same thing in this episode when they were like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make rails and then make a minecart. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. That's why they were invented, so that people don't have to haul heavy rock out of these mines. They could just get them out of there using a wheels system.
Just upgrade production.
Yeah.
Smart.
This episode was so fun for the advancements they made, but no storytelling really happened. It was all science this episode, and that's why we watched the show.
Yep.
So, Johnny, any other parts you wanted to shout out?
Man, no, it was just cool. It was cool seeing the restaurant kick off. Honestly, I didn't know. I shouldn't have underestimated, what is it, Francois?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have underestimated Francois. I mean, clearly they can turn a pig into a lot of things. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not one to be, well versed on cooking and, food in general, I guess. But man, I'm surprised they've got a restaurant going. And I'm wondering if they have to pay or if it's just kind of like, hey, you work today. You go ahead and eat.
The power of bread, pork, and truffles
Yeah.
is what their meal. I guess fish is up there too. So
Smart, they're not doing well. I mean, I was gonna say beer, but they're all kids. I don't know why. I jumped to like a Northgard where that's like an important thing.
Johnny, you know what's great? Who knows if they're kids at this point? Like several of them could be above 18 because I think they were all in like a lot of them were in high school before, and it's been years.
Well, you're saying over the petrification. Okay, well then, yeah, they should absolutely.
Oh wait, he drank wine in the very first episode.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he ferments wine and he starts drinking it.
Oh, my bad. I just forgot that. Well, there you go. Never mind.
Yeah, at least Senku does.
He's just saving it.
Taiju, I don't think he does. He's like, this is super gross, and Senku's like, this is kind of bad wine, but whatever, because they were using wine to mix with the guano and to undo more people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just watched the first episode like a couple weeks ago.
That's still probably a good secret to keep. Just don't tell anybody about
yeah,
that one.
Yeah, exactly. Our last episode was Demon Slayer, season 1. Oh, and this one's not directly. Episode 4. Thank you, Tokito. Tokito being the Hashira, the missed Hashira, I think is his name. This episode was super cool, and I think the rest of the season is going to be really cool because it just is going to be a big fight.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it. I mean, it's super early to be kicking off like this, and it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, and I'm going to get all the numbers wrong, but I think it's 4 and 5 that they're fighting right now. Maybe 5 and 6. It's like somewhere in the mid Hashira level, or sorry, mid demon level. And I was actually kind of surprised that they like such high level demons were sent out to do this, but I think Michael Jackson's getting real pissed off. What's his name?
Musan.
Mitsubishi.
Papa Muzan? I don't know.
Muzan Kitsune boo boo. But yeah, I think he's getting pissed off. But the fight of where one of the demons basically his tongue reads an emotion, and each time that tongue is cut, he gets weaker. But also, anytime his body parts cut off, it forms into a smaller version of that emotion.
Uh-huh.
And then the other one is doing some crazy thing with vases,
yeah,
urns.
I
and
don't
each
know.
one make a fish demon.
They're both just kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I just it's kind of ridiculous what we're gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all these like fish, demons. I don't know. Those are nuts. I mean, personally, I don't know. I expected a lot more from I say that, and he's probably gonna do something else that's just crazy from whoever the splitting one is.
Yeah,
because I mean, I don't know. It seems like they're handling them pretty well, which I don't know if that's. I don't know how to take that. I don't know if I should take that as like, that's fine. They're just, they've gotten that much better and they're learning to take on these people and, fight them just on a higher scale. Or if it means that they're just, barely touching the waters with these guys and that eventually they're just going to murder them. I don't know. I'm just worried about it.
Okay. They are Gyutaro and Daki. Wait.
Pot of Greed.
No, that's the last one. That's to the Swordsmith Village. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah, Pot of Greed and Woodface.
Yeah,
that's their names. Starting now.
Oh, they're the remaining 5 upper ranked demons. And 2 of so I was actually wrong. I think it's 5 and 4.
Ah, okay.
It's not the 1 guy, obviously, and it's not the 2 guy, and I don't think it's the 3 guy, because I think the 1 guy is the dude with all the eyes. The 2 guy is the one who was like joking with the other dude, got his head blown off a couple times.
Yeah, and
I think 3 is the guy who punches, who we saw fight Rangoku.
Right.
Yeah, so we see 4 and 5, who was a nervous dude with a big old bulge on his head, and then a dude who's in an urn. So that's
he speaks with his eyeballs.
A horrible guy. But I think it's really fun because the last thing we see in this episode is basically the love Hashira running into the village, which I think is now just exposed. Like, there's nothing we can do about, like, the swordsman's village not being exposed because the demons found out where it is.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. They'll have to do something about that.
Mm-hmm. And all the while, the 300-year-old sword is being worked on.
Yeah, and he's just kind of using a temporary sword.
Yeah. Also, it looks like Tanjiro was slashed up a lot, but I think that's just good Tanjiro levels of being beat up, and I don't think there's another problem with that.
Yeah, he's definitely. That's what I'm saying though. I don't know if it's just a matter of he is just doing better and fighting on a higher caliber.
Yeah.
Or if they're all just like barely scratching the surface with these guys and just getting messed up. Another thing that I'm wondering about is I don't remember his name, but the guy who's like, no, I use guns. I don't know if his whole thing is like, yeah, he's like Sanji. He can't get hurt now. I don't know. Or like he gets hurt, but he just won't go down. I don't know what his deal is, but it looks like he's getting so beat up. And I'm like, okay, you have 2 shots in that thing. You got to reload. What are you going to do?
Also, why does he keep saying prayers every time he gets messed up and then he gets right back up?
That's true.
I don't understand.
I would like to know what that is.
Yes.
I don't get it, and I'm very curious about it. Also, it's cool seeing Nezuko do stuff. I mean, I don't know. Again, she's another example of like I don't know if they're just doing better or just are about to get slammed.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy part is this is an upper rank demon of the upper 5, and they all Tanjiro, Nezuko, Inosuke, Zenitsu, and the Sound Hashira all had to team together to take down the twins, and only one of them was an upper rank. And now we have 2 upper ranks, and one of them is splits into like a bunch of people, and the other one we don't know what the Earn guy actually does. And so is Tanjiro just fighting a quarter of this upper rank, or is each of those parts of him all worthy of that name? I don't know. Also, why do they turn into an old man with a bulbous thing on his head? I don't know.
And it doesn't match with admittedly the opener. So I'm like, I don't know. That's why I'm like, I'm very wary of what we're seeing and what's going to happen.
Mm. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really good, and I've got nothing else to say about it. I would like to call out 2 anime real quick that have had my interest. We have Dead Mount Death Play, and I Got a Cheat Skill Another World, and something about real life. Both of those anime I think are really fun so far. One's sort of an isekai, like isekai-ish. A door to another world opens and they can come back and forth. And Dead Mount Death Play is a reverse isekai where someone from another world comes to Earth.
I was gonna say one's like part-time isekai and exactly reverse isekai.
Both of them are really fun, and I would also love to know what anime you are all watching, and maybe we are missing like a big one, like Skip and Loafer or something like out there that you were like, oh yeah, this one's really, really good, like top anime of the season, and you should definitely be watching it. I think we're already catching up on, or we're already watching Oshinoko, which I think is like up there for a really, really good anime. But yeah, please let us know. Anything you want to call out real quick?
Man, no, you kind of nailed it.
Okay.
I'm behind, so I got to catch up. There's a lot of good stuff out there, and I'm just struggling.
Yeah. You're wading through all the poop. Poope.
Pupe.
Ted
Lasso joke. For anybody wondering why we just talked about poop.
Thank you, anime fans, for listening to a Ted Lasso joke. Yeah, you're wading through all the poop to get to these really good anime, and I think hopefully we haven't missed anything. Just let us know. So, like, subscribe, share with your friend, and as always, we got a lovely message for you. We need you to keep
it
casual.